a giant of limitless power at man's command. The shadow of the atom bomb has been across all our lives.
There has been a nuclear accident in the Soviet Union.
A state of emergency in two of the country's nuclear reactors.
The worst nuclear reactor accident to date.
Ezekiel chapter 38 verse 7. Get ready, be prepared, you and all the hordes gathered about you, and take command of them. 8 After many days you will be called to arms. In future years you will invade a land that has recovered from war, whose people were gathered from many nations to the mountains of Israel, which had long been desolate. Ezekiel chapter 38 verse 17. When Gog attacks the land of Israel, my hot anger will be aroused, declares the sovereign Lord. Is Iran building a missile-proof nuclear facility? As tensions soar over Iran's nuclear program, recent revelations suggest that the country has constructed an underground facility at such an astonishing depth that it could evade potential airstrikes by the United States. With tensions escalating over Iran's nuclear ambitions, it's been revealed that their underground facility is cunningly designed to withstand potential airstrikes. This underground facility has been built at such a great depth that it poses a significant challenge to Western nations trying to prevent Iran from developing a nuclear bomb. The timing couldn't be worse, as Iran has recently started producing uranium at levels that are approaching weapons grade, following the breakdown of the nuclear deal with world powers. The completion of this facility has raised concerns among experts, including Kelsey Davenport, the director of the Non-Proliferation Policy at the Arms Control Association. She warns that this could lead to a dangerous escalation of tensions and potentially trigger a new cycle of escalating actions. The existence of this deeply buried facility significantly complicates the efforts of Western nations to prevent Iran from acquiring a nuclear weapon. It raises the stakes and increases the risk of conflict as tensions continue to rise. Considering that Iran is already on the verge of attaining a nuclear weapon, any further escalation of its nuclear program risks crossing red lines for the United States and Israel. As a result, when tensions grow, the possibility of war rises considerably. To understand the context, let's briefly go back in time.
One submarine has enough nuclear weapons to essentially end life on the planet as we know it. Just one submarine.
An increase in submarine activity.
Russian rearming their fleet, Chinese submarines, Iranian submarines.
They will preserve peace for many years to come.
The construction of this facility comes 5 years after the United States unilaterally withdrew from the nuclear agreement with Iran under then-President Donald Trump. Trump argued that the agreement did not address Iran's ballistic missile program or its support for militias in the Middle East.
The Iran deal is a disaster. I think it's terrible. One of the worst and most one-sided transactions.
Under the nuclear agreement, Iran's uranium enrichment was strictly limited to 3.67% purity, enough for civilian power plants. Iran was also required to maintain a stockpile of no more than 300 kilograms of enriched uranium. However, since the failure of the nuclear agreement, Iran has officially announced that it's enriching uranium up to 60%, a significant increase.
ما اگر لازم باشه اگر برای مثلا پیشران هسته‌ای یا مسائل دیگر ممکنه به 60% هم غنیسازی رو برسونیم. این کارا چیزایی است که
Furthermore, recent checks have detected uranium particles with a purity level of 83.7%. This puts Iran one step closer to the 90% threshold required for weapons-grade uranium. Recently, international inspectors confirmed that Iran's stockpile of enriched uranium was more than 10 times higher than what was allowed under the Obama-era accord. This stockpile would provide Tehran with enough enriched uranium to produce several nuclear weapons, according to the International Atomic Energy Agency's Director General. Understanding the seriousness of the situation, both President Joe Biden and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu have expressed their determination to prevent Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon. While diplomacy is the preferred strategy, the White House has made it clear that all options are on the table. Ezekiel 39. Then those who live in the towns of Israel will go out and use the weapons for fuel and burn them up, the small and large shields, the bows and arrows, the war clubs and spears. For 7 years they will use them for fuel. Iran, on the other hand, asserts that its nuclear activities are entirely benign and are under the control of the International Atomic Energy Agency, and denies that it's aiming to develop nuclear weapons. However, in recent years, access to Iran's facilities have proven to be challenging for international inspectors. Iran denies building new underground nuclear facility. During a recent press conference, Islami emphasized Iran's commitment to cooperating with international inspectors on any new activities and stated that the Islamic Republic of Iran is working under the safeguards of the International Atomic Energy Agency, or IAEA. His remarks come in response to an Associated Press report that highlighted the construction of a deep underground facility near the Natanz nuclear site in central Iran. According to the report, experts believe this facility may be beyond the reach of certain weapons designed to destroy such sites. But Islami dismissed these claims as bogus and suggested they were part of a psychological operation orchestrated by Israel. He stated that whenever Israel finds itself in difficult situations in the region, it intensifies these psychological operations without further elaboration. The AP report relied on expert opinions and satellite imagery to support its findings. Photographs from Planet Labs PBC revealed extensive excavations near the Natanz site, with piles of dirt suggesting the construction of tunnels between 80 and 100 meters deep. While the conflicting narratives between Iran and the AP report leave us with uncertainties, it's crucial to closely monitor the situation and gather more information from reliable sources. As tensions surrounding Iran's nuclear program continue to rise, it's imperative to assess the facts accurately and consider the perspectives of all parties involved. In defiance of Western sanctions, Iran constructs an underground nuclear complex. Iran is constructing an underground nuclear facility in defiance of Western sanctions, while negotiations to revive the 2015 nuclear deal with world powers remain at a standstill. According to the Associated Press, the facility is being built at a depth that is likely to be beyond the reach of the latest US bunker buster weapon designed to destroy such sites. Experts in satellite imagery, including photos and videos from Planet Labs PBC, have provided evidence of Iran's excavation of tunnels near the Natanz nuclear site. This facility has been subjected to repeated sabotage incidents amid the ongoing standoff between Tehran and the West over Iran's atomic program. With Iran now producing uranium at levels close to those required for weapons-grade material following the collapse of the nuclear deal, the construction of this facility complicates the efforts of Western powers to prevent Iran from potentially developing a nuclear bomb, especially as diplomatic negotiations remain stalled. The completion of the underground facility raises concerns of a nightmarish scenario that could trigger an escalation of tensions. This construction at the Natanz site occurs 5 years after former US President Donald Trump unilaterally withdrew the United States from the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action nuclear deal. Challenges of targeting Iran's underground nuclear facility. There's news regarding the difficulties the US military may face in targeting Iran's underground nuclear facility. New satellite images suggest that America's most powerful bunker buster bombs, the massive ordnance penetrators, may not be able to penetrate these buried facilities. The images provided by Planet Labs and analyzed by the James Martin Center for Non-Proliferation Studies reveal ongoing construction of underground tunnels near Iran's Natanz nuclear site. This construction indicates that Iran is likely developing an underground facility to enrich uranium, taking advantage of natural protection from the Zagros Mountains. The increased depth poses a challenge for the US military to destroy the facility using conventional weapons like bunker buster bombs. Experts suggest that the underground tunnels could be even deeper than estimated, making it harder for the US to penetrate them. Iran is now producing uranium close to weapons-grade levels, as confirmed by the United Nations nuclear watchdog. The country has enough enriched uranium to construct several nuclear bombs. Could the United States still try to drop the bomb? US officials have discussed using 2 such bombs in succession to ensure the site is destroyed. But even then, the new depth of the Natanz tunnels likely presents a serious challenge. Further complicating any possible US military strike is that the B-2 had been grounded for months since December, when one caught on fire after an emergency landing. On Monday, General Thomas A. Bussier, the commander for the Air Force's Global Strike Command, announced the B-2 grounding had been lifted. While the B-2 fleet's safety pause is officially over, our ability to deliver nuclear deterrence and provide long-range strike was never in doubt, he said in a statement. What are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed today's video, then make sure to leave a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you can be up to date with the most exciting content. Thanks for watching. See you again soon in another video.